Ludus, Vulpes.
Welcome to Ludus, Vulpes. My name's Kirsty.
And I'm Phil.
You join us as we run through our initial thoughts and setup of Murano, Light Masters.
Light Masters! Kind of. Yeah, it's not quite that dramatic.
I don't know. Depends what you're into. If you're into glass blowing and design, then maybe.
Yeah,
why not?
That's fair.
But even more like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Light Masters.
Yeah, rather than whatever
Yeah, I don't
implement you use.
I don't know.
Anyway, this was yet another Essen surprise for us.
Yeah, it was.
On our journey over there.
Matagot were demoing this quite a lot. They've got like
Yes.
8 or 9 tables dedicated to Murano, and it was worth it. And it's their release for the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's light to medium weight game, nothing major, just a few, a little bit of tricky in there. It's an abstract game where you are producing beautiful works of glass art, like this wonderful fox.
It's lovely.
From
Nothing to do with Ludus Vulpes.
No.
Vulpes meaning fox.
Finally, we've explained that. 70 odd videos in, and we've finally explained Vulpes.
Ludus means gaming.
As you know.
Fox means fox. No.
Fox means fox, but also Vulpes means fox.
Vulpes means fox, so
Anyway.
it's gaming foxes. There you go.
So there you go. Now, where was I? Yes, Murano, Light Masters. So you are changing shards of glass into beautiful works of art in this game,
Yes.
and you're going to be doing that by making some selections on a dial and processing it. But what we will do is we'll go through a quick setup for you. It's a quick setup because the box does most of the work, and then we'll just do we'll give you our initial thoughts on the game.
Let's do it.
Okay, meet
Let's
us
go
on
down
the
to
table.
the table. That's exciting.
I think so. The artwork is stunning on this thing. Getting the box open is not so easy. There you go.
It's new and
It is
shiny.
new and
lovely.
shiny.
Let's remove the gorgeous rulebook.
Actually, what is worth saying is the rulebook is brief. It's not a particularly big rulebook.
It looks big, but actually it's not. It's in several different languages, and it's very clear. Nice descriptions.
Actually, no, that's just the English rulebook. To be fair, it comes. The box comes with multiple
Yeah,
rulebooks.
sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, this is your first player token. Stop doing this.
It's an owl.
It's an owl, but please stop doing this. Like, we don't need first player tokens that are this big in our life. But it is kind of like a beautiful glass owl. If you're going to do us a first player token like this, Matagot, send us an actual glass owl. That'd be lovely. So to set up the game, we're going to take the main board out of the box, and then we're going to take all these components out. We're going to leave these in for now. Ow, there's my elbow.
I'll be placing a player board in front of each player. In this situation, 2.
Yep. It's a limited player count. The game does play up to 4 players. And we'll take about half an hour. We need these out as well. And then we're good.
Is that the optional first player?
That is the alternate first player token. Fine.
There you go. So they don't help with travel sites.
They don't.
She says. Okay.
You're going to take... So this bag was a freebie.
It was an expansion.
It was a micro expansion, but it was an opportunity for holding your shards of glass into there.
It's beautiful. Especially when you can get them in the middle.
Yeah. But you'll be taking these shards of glass out of here and returning into there, and you'll also be placing them around the edge of the board. Just push that down. It does pop out a little bit, which no, it's not your fault.
Tipped it on its side.
No, I think it's just the nature of this particular insert is a little bit funky. Okay, so each player is going to get 5 of these cards, not the player aid cards.
No.
Each player's going to get one of those.
I'll have one of those then.
The other 2 can go to one side. And then these are your the items you're going to be producing. So each player gets 5 of them. And in a strange little quirk for this game, once you've dealt these 5 cards, you cannot reorder them.
Unless you pay a lira per change in your deck.
Yes. Let's turn over to the English side.
Always useful.
Yeah, it's on the French side. So in a 2-player game, in all player games, we'll deal 5 of these cards to each player. 4.
That's it.
5. Yeah, there. And then that order will not change. You can look at them. So what I suggest you do is look at them, and this is the order from top to bottom, rather than trying to turn them back off the deck.
Viewers at home.
Yeah. So this is the
Beautiful.
order we'll be playing, and they are hidden from other players, so that's worthy of note. I'm going to put my coin resources here in a more wonderful world. I'll sort them neatly, and then then there are these which are going to be sort of bonus actions that we can take. Now this is quite a nice touch as well, and we're going to put them once again. Hopefully the box doesn't get too much in the way.
If I just push it forward while you're explaining it.
So what we're going to do with the bonus actions is we're going to take these tiles here, and
We have played this before.
yeah, we have really hard to get out. So we're going to take these tiles here, and there are tons of these, and these are all bonus actions that you can take. These bonus actions are also represented on these cards. So once you've completed, we got the fox from the cover. That's nice. So once you've completed this fox piece of glass, which will require 2 yellow shards, a red shard, and a blue shard, you can then activate at any point this special ability. So what is the special ability? This is where we shuffle these cards.
It's got a lot of game variability in it.
Huge amount of variability, which is really nice. And we are going to put one of these on each of the bonuses. So
Interesting.
in the game, the horse in this instance will get us this bonus, which will be discarding shards to get lira.
Okay.
Because we've got a little red arrow and discard to
Yep.
get lira. All of them are referenced in the rulebook. So if you pass me the back page of the rulebook, I think it's on
Ta-da!
there. Yeah, so here we go. So if you're not sure, in fact, that's the exact, or very similar to the one we've got, not the exact one. If you're not sure, you can always look up and reference in the back, so you know what that particular piece is doing. This one here.
Yeah.
Negotiate phase. I'll explain that in a moment. During a sell action, get 4 lira instead of 1 lira.
Woo!
Yeah, that's big money. Mega money.
Yes, it is.
So that's gonna set up most of the game. So you got your cards, the player board, the benefits, the automa for single player. That can go out of the way.
It's nice that it includes that as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And we are pretty much ready to play. So our final part of setup is each player is going to get, I've just noticed that one, 4 lira. Have 4 lira.
Thank you.
I'll have 4 lira as well.
It's very
And
kind
then
of you.
into each of these corners, we're going to put 1 of each shard. Now, the white heart-shaped shards are wild and can be used to represent any of the other shards. We're also probably going to give this outer ring a bit of a spin. And when we actually play the game, we're going to be using this inner blue dial to make some selections.
Did you put a wild out or did you put a green out instead?
Oh, sorry, that should be green, yeah. There you go. So the shards are out. We randomly aligned this outer ring. The inner ring is static. And we are actually ready to start playing Murano. So what are you going to do in a round of Murano? Well, the first thing you're going to do is rotate this selector 1 clockwise. And you're going to take the shards that are represented there from the shard supply. So I would then take a red and a yellow shard, and I would put them on my shard board.
Nice.
Yeah. Then we are going to have a negotiation phase. Now, please, there is literally no player negotiation in this game. It's not how it works.
Maybe it was translation?
Maybe. So,
who knows?
you can sell these shards. And you can sell as many of your shards as you want, but you will only ever get 1 lira for them. There's a reason why you might want to sell them, and I'll explain that when we go on to the creating a piece of glass work stage. So, in the negotiation stage, you can sell shards to get them off your player board. Or you can buy, and for 2 lira, back into the bank, you can take any of these clusters of shards on the outside. So these can come up, these can come up to a maximum of 3 here. And at some point you can spend 2 lira to buy a grouping from the corner of the board. And then the last one is you can exchange. And when you exchange, you take 1 shard from your board You're going to put it in one of these outer 4 quadrants. And then you're going to take the 3 shards in that quadrant. So there's 1, 2, 3. The only exception in this rule is you cannot take a wild heart. So if I put my yellow shard here, I would get a green and a blue. If, however, I was to put my yellow shard here, I would get a yellow, a red, and a green as part of my exchange. However, I have now left an opportunity for Kirsty, because there's 2 shards over there, so she might want to buy those 2 shards for 2 lira on her turn.
It's worth just bearing in mind, when you look at this box, it looks just random design, but actually each little workbench is a quarter.
Yeah. So
try and see them as individual workbenches. It's quite useful.
Yeah, and they've got like these little curved elements to denote which their separations are. So that's basically the fundamentals of the game. Now, at the end of the game, end of that round, I can choose to produce a glasswork. I don't suspect I've got one that I could produce. Now, I haven't.
Well, not in the right order.
Not in the right order. But if I, for example, I had 3 red and a blue, I could then.
I've got one that I could do.
Cash those in. So let's say I could do one. I could cash these shards in to the box, produce that item, and in producing that item, I then get lira for every empty space on my player board. So that would get me 8 lira. So I would take my 8 lira, and they would come over here.
Whereas if you'd had those in, it would only get you 6 lira.
Now, it is possible to complete 2 pieces of glasswork on 1 turn. If you do that, the first one, you'll get rid of 4 shards. All the pieces of glasswork are 4 shards. You get rid of 4 shards, score 4 lira. The second one you produce, you'll get rid of 4 shards, score 8 lira. But because you produce 2 in 1 turn, you're going to get 2 bonus lira. So that's the most money you can get. And I think that's nice because otherwise...
So is that 14 in 10?
It's 14 in total. 14 in total.
Wow.
4, 8,
and then 2
so yeah.
Lovely.
And otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to produce 2 in a turn. It would be sort of a disadvantage to produce 2 in a turn. So that is the essence of the game. At any point during my turn, I can do one of a number of things. I can spend a lira, and I can rotate this outer ring that way by 1 notch for each lira I spend.
It does actually have arrows.
Yeah, it does.
So you can see where you need to push it.
I can activate one of the advantages from one of the pieces of glasswork I
only
produced.
The ones you've completed.
Yeah, only the ones I've completed. This one has an option of 2, but once it's been used, that card can no longer be used. So I'm going to need to pick which of the 2 options, either the ring or the ball, I'm going to use. And then finally, I can also spend a lira to look at these cards and change the order of them. So I can spend a lira to change the order.
Yeah, per card.
Per card. So I can go, okay, I'm going to slide that one to the back, slide that one to the back, and so on and so forth. Okay.
That would have been 2 lira.
Yeah, it would be 2. So, that is, you have to stand back and anywhere in that deck, by the way. So that is, in essence, how we're going to play the game. And we're going to play through until somebody has created all 5. Then we'll finish off the round and see how people have scored financially.
Yeah. Funnily enough, lira and victory points. And the one with the most lira
wins the game.
Wins the game. It's revolutionary.
It is. It's nice. Okay, so that's how to play the game. What do we think?
Okay, so Murano was another one of the surprises that Phil delivered for us. It didn't feature on anyone's list,
actually.
It was one we're just walking through a hall, saw it being play tested. Oh, let's give it a go, and fell in love with it. Almost really, it's very much got a Splendor / Century Road-esque feel to it, in the respect that you are collecting resources to build cards, which is similar to that.
Yeah, and you're transitioning resources through the board as well.
And that it just, and I suppose especially these little player boards.
They remember the Century quite a lot.
Yeah, so it's almost like a little addition to that kind of light game collection.
Light but thinky abstract
Yeah.
game, I would say. So there's
Slightly heavier than the other two.
no, I don't know. I think I'd put it on a par with both of those personally.
The reason why it's ever so slightly heavier is because you have to do it in the order of the cards unless you spend victory points, which you don't have that in any other the types of the others that we're talking about.
Okay.
So that makes it so that you're either spending money to change the order or having to stick to a rigid regime of what you're building. You can't necessarily always get that if you can't guarantee to know what other players are doing.
Okay.
And I feel that makes it ever so slightly more complicated than the other two aforementioned games.
So for me, it has the same let's play one more game kind of feel that I got the first time I played Splendor, the first time I played Century, because it feels like there's a better solution than you presented, and the game plays fast enough that it doesn't overstay its welcome. And for me, that's where the big connection is with those two games. It's quick enough to be entertaining. Yeah. Even a 4-player game doesn't drag out particularly, and it's a game that once you finish, you're like, I could do better. I know I could do better. And
let's just do one more.
Yeah, because it's not too long. It's about let's just play one more. It's got a real strong vibe of it. I really love the fact that we've got quite a lot of variable setup at the start of the game. That really helps and keeps it a bit fresh, because these bonuses and benefits can make a huge difference to how you progress the game. So it's well worth it.
I think personally the components in this are beautiful.
It's hard to argue.
Well thought out. Everything is clear.
What is interesting?
The shapes are different, so even for a colourblind, you follow the shape instead.
Yeah,
which I think is quite nice.
I think what's really interesting is if you look at the sort of tokens here, they are the same tokens, but in the book they look quite different. I'm going to put that out there. I think they are the same tokens. What I don't know is whether it was like the production was changed before post the Rulebook, and these were the original ones with like things like the red ones looking more like ladybirds. I'm not sure.
Might be the light.
I don't know if it's trying to represent the light, but there's like Anyway, it just the first time I looked at the Rulebook,
it's difficult to photograph glass. Anyone that's done photography and intricate detail photography, it's very hard to find a way to photograph these intricate, especially the way the light bounces, the reflections. So it could have just been could have been that, but yes, they do look slightly different.
It's interesting because I think this game it fits its weight. It's that sort of light to medium weight game. It's a half an hour play time. It's over quick. It's fun to play. You're always feeling quite generous, translating power and translating shards. There's always a lot of resources moving about, so you're feeling like you're active in the game most of the time. And then it's over like that.
I also like the way that it's in the box, so it's quite quick and easy to set up and put away. And it's for an insert. For those that saw during the setup, but in case you didn't see, it's all nicely laid out. There's no complexity. It's obvious what goes where.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice and clean to put away. It's quick. Parts aren't going to go running around. You're not going to lose bits. Can't reach now. It's my fault.
So
it's been well thought out.
Yeah.
Other inserts we've had issues with, not so much.
So for people who like abstract games, for people who love Century Spice Roads, for people who love Splendor, this is really a game you should check out. It's a light to medium weight game. Already said that, and it's going to play really nicely with 4 players, and you'll have a great time if you like that kind of abstract, like translating things from one to another. Yeah,
this is not someone who has very little patience and can't, I can't do that one. There's no point in me playing in type-esque. Occasionally, I'm in that mood. I'll admit it. Sometimes it feels that way. But yes, it's beautiful. It's definitely worth a play. If you know someone who has this in their collection or has been lucky enough to pick it up from Essen, give it a go.
Yeah, it's worth a go. And like I said, if you like those other games you mentioned, it's absolutely worth a go. And it's not massively expensive either for the production
No.
quality that's there. So you're getting quite a nice game, quite a nice production. It stands nicely on the table.
Yeah.
It's a good sort of afternoon, get a game in afternoon kind of game.
It would also again fit between the heavier games
Yeah.
if you need just a little light break, a little palate cleanser between heavier games.
So there you go. Murano Light Masters from Matagot.
Yes.
Great little game. Go out and enjoy it.
Different theme as well. Don't know many glass blowing / sculpture creating games out there.
No, the theme is...
there might be some. Comment below if there are.
The theme is minimally involved in the game, but it is there. And what it has done is given the wonderful scope to photograph some beautiful works of art and put them into the game. So
the colours
that's really nice.
Isn't it? And actually, the colours used are the colours
there is a representation. Yeah.
It's nice. It's well thought out.
If you've enjoyed this review, this initial thoughts and setup, please like and subscribe to the channel.
We will be doing a playthrough, which will follow shortly. Yeah. And you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for Ludus Vulpes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.